What's poppin', y'all? This is DJ with One Shot Game. Man, you already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices. The ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see you too. So listen, y'all had to understand that there's a difference between people that are able to create from a spiritual aspect of really getting insight and wisdom from spirit versus the ones that are getting their insight from the devil. You know what I'm saying? And listen, let me help you understand something. That is just, the devil is just low vibrational energy. You know what I'm saying? That causes people to abide by whatever dark system there is floating in the world currently. You know what I'm saying? And then there are people that are really in touch with their spirit. So they have the ability to create and make way for themselves through whatever it is they choose to use in a form of a creative project. You know what I'm saying? Understanding and knowing the difference between when spirit is talking to you versus when, you know what I'm saying, the devilistic energy is talking to you is a very, you know what I'm saying, logical explanation to that. Now, let me help you understand something. As a spiritual being having a human experience, this is what happens. Everything you've experienced in your life, people, places, things, you know what I'm saying, situations, events, music, songs, signs, you know what I'm saying, all of it imprints a certain code into your brain, right? So anytime that you experience, you know what I'm saying, that location, that place, you know what I'm saying, that experience, that situation, that sign, it brings up a memory, you know what I'm saying, of something related to that actual experience. You know what I'm saying? And it's fast. It's almost as if like it comes in immediately as soon as you see something. I have moments where, you know what I'm saying, I'll go to certain places that I know I'll have a memory about. You know what I'm saying? Or experience or history with that location. You know what I'm saying? And automatically the thoughts that come into your head are based off of your memory and your experience with that location, that place, that situation, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You have to realize and understand that that is not wisdom from spirit. That is just basically your spirit playing over the experience of what has happened in that location. And listen, it could be very strong. Sometimes it can even confuse you and play out something that didn't happen but very similarly related to it. That is the dark devilistic energy trying to tie something in your own life to a dark experience from it. You get what I'm saying? And then you got to think about how the people that have direct communication from spirit are the ones that are allowed to clear their mind completely. You know what I'm saying? To where they're in a space where they're not thinking about anything. You know what I'm saying? And you will have a certain thought, a certain idea, or something said to you in your mind that is authentic, pure, and true. That is intercepted from, you know what I'm saying, the spirits of your ancestors or the spirits of people that has done everything to keep this side of them closed off. You get what I'm saying? So for me personally, there will be times where I'll just be enjoying myself, completely not thinking about anything. You know what I'm saying? In a place where it's peaceful, and something will be intercepted into my mind that I pick up on. And usually that's how I get in a space to create. You know what I'm saying? But there are also moments where I do things that I love, and there are certain memories, thoughts, and triggers that are just a replay of my mind. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't create any effect at all. It just tries everything to get into my head. You feel me? To knock me off my course. It's almost as if someone constantly knocking on the door and you not answering it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is the devilistic energy trying to come in ways where you free your mind. Like, for me personally, I love to read, right, and try to form the imagery in my own way of what's going on as I'm reading. But now it's a little difficult because when I'm reading, due to the fact that I didn't read for a long time, I ain't gonna lie. You wanna know why? Because I was caught up in things that was lowering my vibration. You know what I'm saying? Smoke and just doing all types of backward stuff, right? So now when I'm reading, it's all type of thoughts being intercepted into my head at once. And listen, a lot of them I know are truly not mine. They're trying everything they can to push me away from, you feel me, reading. Because what y'all fail to realize is that there are a lot of truths in books. There are a lot of things that we don't know about that are really true if you read. You know what I'm saying? And you'll get an experience of being able to experience the world in a different way. And that is why I think a lot of people didn't go to the library, but now a lot of people are going to the library. You know what I'm saying? And again, they're trying to stop people from waking up. So the more that they get them out of a certain way of trying to know who they are and back into a space where they continue to push the idea of being dark, then they won't be able to receive what it is, you know what I'm saying, to be able to create or just see the world in truth, not in the illusion. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes, you got to be real with yourself and understand there are people who don't know how to be creative. You know what I'm saying? And they want to be creative so bad that they just try to take something from someone else and create it in their own way and mimic it and replay and duplicate, you know what I'm saying, what they say, how they move, what they do. There are even people in the world right now who act as if they related to celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Because they want so hard to make their soulless individual be something. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy. You just got to know the difference. But a lot of people can't see in the spiritual because it's something inside of them that they lack or that they're insecure about that stops them from being able to unlock that. You feel me? And they've been chasing it for so long that they're afraid that if they stop chasing it, who they really are will be revealed. And I feel like people think people really won't like them. You know what I'm saying? But again, you got to think about the world like this. Who gives a fuck if you're liked or loved? Who cares? You know what I'm saying? You still got to be you regardless. And trust me, when you get people who mimic and copy you and do what you do because you being yourself, it's very annoying and very frustrating because you just trying to be yourself. You know what I'm saying? So again, all the attention and glory you get is because you're a fake version of who you are to fit in. You know what I'm saying? So when you really get exposed and you really you for real, people may not like that, but that's okay. That's okay. It's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? That's how you become the best version of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So once you remove those blocks and you start to feel like that in the world, that means you'll be able to match yourself up with being able to catch the intellect that comes with spirits all around the world that basically tap into you because you're free to be yourself. As whereas these people oftentimes passed away being something that they didn't want to be or trying to be themselves in a world where that wasn't okay. You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to free their spirit from being trapped so that it doesn't get reincarnated. So they're waiting to find a person that's true to be themselves so that they can be able to pass the wisdom down to them. You know what I'm saying? Listen, all you have to do is know the difference and understand and how to articulate what it is that you're experiencing. You know what I'm saying? So it can come out in the form of where it's received, you know what I'm saying, instead of neglected. Because you gotta think of the world like this. Everybody is robots. Nobody's really doing anything different. So when someone actually steps on the limb and is who they are and it's different, it takes time before people start to catch on to liking it because we're stuck in a world where everybody's zombies. Everybody thinks and operates the same way. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's doing anything different. So you have to basically force yourself and make way for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, nobody will know. You'll be just another spirit here on earth, you feel me, and gone when it's time. You get what I'm saying? So listen, knowing and realizing that there are spirits everywhere. There are spirits in the water. There are spirits, you know what I'm saying, at cemeteries. There are spirits, you know, in parks. There are spirits that are still trapped, you know what I'm saying, waiting to find a empty vessel to incarnate into. So they roam this planet, and what they'll do is they'll try to intercept your brain with negative thoughts to try to take you out of who you are, so they can be able to inhabit your body. And a lot of them live through alcohol and drugs. I'm just saying, y'all know you feel me? Now, I don't shade or hate nobody, but I know that if you truly want to get to a space where you clear in who you are, you have to be able to, you know what I'm saying, let those go, especially from people of my culture. We did it so much growing up. We started very young. You know what I'm saying? And I think truly because there are a lot of people who knew who we will become later in life. That's why they started us out so early. You know what I'm saying? We would on all the time. Therefore, we wouldn't dream. We wouldn't, you know what I'm saying, be able to be in touch with our soul. And life will be in shambles later on. You know what I'm saying? So now I feel like to be back to my original true self is that the best thing that I could be able to do in this world currently. Because listen, if I was to drink or smoke right now, I wouldn't be this version that I'm giving to y'all. I would be a different version. And think of how the negative energy couldn't wait for that. So there will be people around me who couldn't wait to see me in that state so that they can come along and have me be them. So when I wake up, I'm still engaged in what they doing, still acting like them. That it's how it flows, how they want. So you got to think, you know what I'm saying, and understand that having a clear connection to source, you know what I'm saying, is being able to find your own niche in your own life and clear your mind, become at peace with knowing who you are, that you will get the signals. It won't be, you know what I'm saying, the low vibrational signals. And let me tell you, when you get signals from low vibrational energy, which is, you know, devilistic energy, it won't be yours. You know what I'm saying? So it'll only be perceived when you're around someone with high energy. When that person leaves, you know what I'm saying, the devilistic energy will conceive you. You will no longer do or copy what that person of high energy is doing. You'll actually settle in your own guilt and insecurities, you know what I'm saying, and how you portray and see the life at full scale on a daily. I think that's the part a lot of people don't understand. You know what I'm saying? The good energy is felt when someone knows who they are, consumes the space. But when that person leaves, you know what I'm saying, it's either what they were doing or how they thought they were doing it don't exist. They actually go back to who they are for real. And a lot of times, people having to face that is something that they don't like. You know what I'm saying? So they'll try to do and keep up with the facade of what they've always kept up with around people that are soulless just like them. So then what happens is your karma starts to be reflected back to you. But when you try to act out who you are around someone that is spiritually gifted, I don't care. You could take everything from me, but you can't take my spirit. Your mission is to consume who you are with them so you can be able to still float in the world being that version of you. But when that person is spiritually strong in who they are, you may feel as if you attach your energy to them, but that eventually their cutoff game is strong as hell when they realize who they are is not being reciprocated energetically and spiritually. It is just a mask to shield them off from disclosing who you really are. You know what I'm saying? But there are people, like I said, who spiritually can spy into your life and see who you really are for real. Now, the test begins where, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to remove myself because I know I'm a high energy valued person because I'm truly me. You know what I'm saying? And again, y'all got to understand, people who have come into fully knowing who they are doesn't mean they're innocent. Doesn't mean they just got a perfect past. What it means is they were bred up in the darkness. They got traits and things about them, you feel me, that, listen, could almost broke them. But they managed to transform out of it. They have us thinking that the people who can be in touch with spirit and know who they are, they have a perfect lifestyle. No, that's not true. You know what I'm saying? So again, knowing and understanding to have a direct connection to source means you have to be different. You have to stand out from the pack. And that's usually the ones that are called weird, that are called, you feel me, different. They're usually the ones that have that connection with source, and usually the people that act in zombie mode like everybody else don't have that connection. Their insight is coming from that low vibrational energy, who is directly targeted to the ones that are weird, and siphoning their energy to be able to use their creativeness and who they are to project a certain image as if it was them the whole time. But these people are soulless. They don't know how to connect to spirit because they don't know who they are. You know what I'm saying? So again, knowing and understanding the difference between the two will help you get significant clarity on who you are. You feel me? The enemies are all around. They don't know no better. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to you to allow them to scare you or to keep going. It's like all the evil, scary movies we've been watching this whole time were just real life imagery created from people who are soulless individuals. You know what I'm saying? Who attack people that have a spirit and try to steal who they are for their own selves, for money, clout, gain, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And usually these people are blocked off from spirit. It is not until you find who you are that you're able to have that connection. And everybody won't make it. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? And those people usually are your enemies who try so hard to be you. You know what I'm saying? Because they want something that you embody, that you have. But again, there are certain actions and certain ways that people go about acting that'll let you know that your spirit irritates their demons. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, but it's the reality of the world. So realize and understand that creativity and, you know what I'm saying, authenticity comes from the ones who are usually outcasted. And those are the ones who usually have a direct connection. You know what I'm saying? The ones that basically been putting on the show to get the fake love from people to be somebody, those usually are the ones who are not connected to source. They're loud. They got to stand out. They got to be known. They got to be seen. You know what I'm saying? Because they are starting, or maybe they've always known that they were soulless. You know what I'm saying? Something inside their life broke them down and they sold their soul, and now they don't know who they are. So what they're trying to do is steal something from someone spiritually by acting out in a way to where they get the attention of people who are also soulless. Because you got to think about it. People who are soulless, they follow the loudest one in the room. You know what I'm saying? Because they have no one to look up to unless it's directly projected to them. And again, you cannot be connected to source through that. You feel me? So listen. Know and understand and realize that if you've come to a space in your life where you have a clear mind, to be able to connect to source is you being who you are. And at the craziest times and moments, you will receive information that'll help guide you in life on a creative project, something that you want to do. You know what I'm saying? It'll just tell you where you need to be, what you need to be doing, and who you need to be talking to. That's just how it works. You know what I'm saying? I had a whole experience yesterday that woke me up to what really be going on. It ain't easy. It's a hard path, but it's worth it in the end. So keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. You feel me? The devil is on attack because, again, like I said, soulless people steal from others. They have no creative aspect to themselves because they're soulless. So you have to be mindful that if they can steal it from you, they will. And that means they attack you any way they can to hopefully, in terms, make you give up. And the moment you give up is exactly what they want to happen. So listen, if you don't understand, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.